Hello, my name is Kurt Brown, also known as Saint Rambone. I have a website titled Mobile Audit Club. I've lived here in the city of Mobile, Alabama for most of my life. I've traveled out west a good bit where I worked. I am calling for a blockage and stoppage of Mardi Gras in the year 2008. The regime in power in the United States and that in Mobile, Alabama has turned against me, a Mobile, Alabama native, and a long-term, I have a long-term family in the area. And not only Mobile, but Pritchard. I was a bank examiner for the federal government. A regional director at the FDIC had been killed in his office to make way for a money laundering syndicate that came in San Francisco. When I went to work there afterward, about 10 years later, that was around 2000, an attempt was made on my life afterward in 2001 because I reported money laundering and murder. Now the Mobile, Alabama government does not want to allow this degreed accountant, this degreed reporter, into their city council meetings. They will not even allow me into their auditorium to film as a reporter. You must realize that most of you people have been conned most of your life. The mass media does not tell you the truth. They have people killing people overseas. They call them all sorts of names. Slopeheads, Hajis, you name it. Next week they'll be killing us, whatever you want to call the people in Alabama. I know there's two groups that like to be prejudiced against each other that I won't even go into that because it's nonsense. I encourage the people of Mobile, especially the poor and the lower class, to stick together. I don't care what hue your skin is. That's why we're humans. We have been tortured, we have been outcast, and we have been thrown down by the regime in power in the United States. I'm encouraging both all nationalities, all colors to stage a boycott against Mardi Gras in Mobile this year. I was forcibly injected and tortured after working as a bank examiner. Now, isn't that something? There were some veterans who were also forcibly injected and forced experiments. I had forced medical procedures on myself. I was made very sick, and I had memory loss after the torture in Los Angeles where this occurred. It was at a federal facility. I had investigated the murder and money laundering in San Francisco where I had previously worked. The federal government even destroyed my videos. This was in 2001. Now, I was put in exile for about 3 years, for 2001, 2004. I have been attacked again repeatedly, not only by criminals out that are hired by the government who sanction the money laundering, but I've also been attacked by the criminals in government who forcibly inject us. Since the regime came to power, they're allowing forced injections. They have something up their sleeve this year for these fake elections they have. They know that we know that they're lies and they're false. We know that we have no voice. The people that have a voice in Mobile are usually these lower brain people who have no humane conscience. They're just like the old world Nazis. I don't even know if they're machines. Now, to give you a little background on myself. I started out my life in Pritchard, Alabama, my first memory, on 60th Street. I remember seeing snow on the window. It wasn't snow. It was pollution from the paper mills, but it created jobs. It was hell living there as a child. Then I moved over to Rosewood Drive in Mobile. It's a small middle-class neighborhood. Nothing to it. A man came back from Vietnam. His name was Wise Man. I knew this guy. He was just a kid. I didn't know it. He like an adult. He came back from Vietnam and he killed himself. He hated this government. He hated this city and he hated the people that run it. I feel the same way. I encourage you not to serve the United States military. Do not trust the regime. I encourage you to have your children away from them. The hospitals and do not take them to the public schools if you can do it. You do not want the regime to have access to your kids. Let's have a boycott of Mardi Gras this year. They kick me out of my government. They come to my home and harass me. That's the federal dictatorship in power. I am a degreed auditor or an accountant, and I'm also a degreed reporter. They will not allow me in to their own city council meeting or to the auditorium. I would like to see Mayor Sam Jones thrown out on his ass. He's going to throw the poor people in Mobile in jail for a parking ticket. If you don't pay the ticket, you go to jail. Don't go to Mardi Gras. Don't even recommend it. Have the regime overthrown. Support the overthrow of the regime. If they harm people, they deserve to be killed. And that's what I see in the United States. Most people in the United States don't care about each other. They look at me and they say, oh, he's nothing. Well, I say you're nothing too, my friend. The regime in power is nothing, and these fake Christians in Mobile, Alabama can go to hell.